Now here's a look at our updated leaderboard. 46-3 for Breck, 44-4 for Steven. Viet way behind. 1.26 million for our eventual winner.
Shots.
I'm down if y'all down.
Yeah.
We are playing 300,000, 600,000 with a 600,000 big blind ante.
This is Viet Vo, 39 years old, quickly folding his hand. Breck here, our chip leader with Queen 4, is just going to call it. And there's Steven Snyder from North Carolina making the call as well. Flop is an ace-jack-9, 2 diamonds.
Steven flopping the flush draw. Breck, queen high, that's out in front for the moment. Passive so far as we check to the turn, where Steven makes a pair with the 3. One more check from Breck. Steven want to start building this pot.
Steven has to come out of the woodwork with his 4 flush and a pair of 3s. Time to bet. 700,000. Breck is from Grand Rapids, Michigan, 32 years old. He's going to make this call.
Yeah, a little bit of an ambitious turn call from Breck with queen high, no draw.
5 of diamonds on the river makes a flush for Steven, but nothing for Breck. He's not going to try to steal it. He checks. Steven Snyder's from Davidson, North Carolina, 41 years old, poker pro, former machinist.
6.2.
And he is bombing this river, Vince. He bet 2 times the size of the pot.
Thanks.
Breck will drop out with queen high, and Steven
Good bluff.
will stack up chips there.
He likes to consider himself a very fluid player, and he is.
Shot.
He's crafty. We saw in the beginning of the final table, he was playing very tight.
I'm so not serious, though.
But he's adjusted himself very nicely.
Not even if I win, I'm not taking a shot.
I don't drink, so it would
really?
probably mess me up.
Good for you.
I mean, I drink like a beer occasionally, but
I drink every day. But then I got problems.
Now, Breck seems to find Viet Vo's alcoholism hilarious.
Starting to bond at the table, which is nice.
First walk of the year.
The year?
Yeah. I had a decent hand, too.
decent enough that you don't want to walk, or?
Don't mind playing it. But I'll take it.
This is you. This is you playing poker on WPT Global. Come play at WPT Global. Click the link in the YouTube description below. Sign up with bonus code YT10 and receive your welcome package with a deposit match and free tournament tickets.
1.6.
The tricky part of just going small here is you open yourself up to getting pushed out of the pot by something like King Queen, as Breck finds in the small blind. Nice 3-bet from Breck here, making it 4 million. That's enough to commit Viet, but also small enough to get away if Steven had come over the top. And Viet there forced to fold the best hand. A little bit of a missed opportunity.
Breck is married. He has 4 sons, 9, 7, 5, and 2. Breck studied sports management and nursing in college, and now he's a registered nurse. And he's got game. He's got a lot of levels to his game. He's proven that tonight. And Steven with a pair of 10s.
And while they're tempting to raise, I actually think Steven should limp. Viet has a stack that's going to shove over the limp a lot, and a beautiful call by Steven there in the small blind. Laying the trap. Viet does not fall into it, checks behind with the 9-7. But as we can see now, it's possible that Viet makes a pair under Steven's tens, which he does here on king 7 deuce.
Indeed, Viet hitting sevens, but he's going to check it.
Yep, staying passive. Jack of spades in the turn, so Steven now with the flush draw, but doesn't love the overcard. Both players check down to a river, and it's a 6. And now, with a few cards under the tens, will Steven try and get a little bit of value here?
He is going to bet $1 million, and a call by Viet.
Nice value bet from Steven there. Really well played hand. Spot that a lot of players miss. Great execution there.
Trappy, trappy.
Now, Viet Vo is going to need some help if he's going to make this a true three-handed match. We'll find out coming up after this.
Action on our chip leader, Breck. He looks down at a very interesting suited connector. 8-7 of diamonds, makes it 1-4 to go. Steven, though, picks up a pair of tens.
4.7.
That's what you do with that.
Steven is yet to 3-bet without a very strong hand tonight. Breck does have a good hand to speculate with here, but it's not as strong when you know your opponent has something really big. He does make the call in position, though.
Flop is an ace 6-6.
I think that Steven should start with a small bet here. He has the range advantage on an ace-high board, and his pair of tens needs some protection. Instead, he checks. I think the problem for somebody like Steven is that conveys a lot about the strength of your hand to your opponent. So Breck taking the initiative, bets $3 million. Steven makes the call.
Going to the turn. A nothing deuce of hearts. So Steven on the guessing game here. He's yielding once again to Breck.
Breck cutting out a bet here. He's gonna bet $8 million, and what a tough spot for Steven holding the tens.
And I'll tell you something, not an easy call at all.
No, and look at all the pressure it puts him under with Viet being so short.
But he's gonna lay this down.
Ooh, big lay down and a great bluff there from Breck. He is gonna be real happy when he sees that one.
I would have called you if whatever I had,
Yeah?
whatever he had, for sure.
These guys are top notch. That's why they beat out a field of massive amounts of players by making moves, taking pots that they don't deserve. It's a battle of wits going on. As we move on, Steven with a quick fold with the 4-9. And Viet now looks down at a pair of sevens.
On it.
There you go. He's going to go all in with it. Let's see if Breck has a hand to call with.
Yeah, I like this call, Vince. That shove is only about 7 blinds. Breck getting a good price with a hand that has a ton of equity, and here is flipping.
Not going nowhere. Don't stand up yet.
Just stretching, buddy. Just stretching.
Here we go. Viet Vo came in as the short stack, and now let's see if he can survive this. Not on the flop. A 10 hits, hitting Breck.
7 of spade on the river.
Viet with a very specific request, and one that would no longer work.
7 of spades on the river.
As you hear from Breck, would give him a straight.
Picked up one out, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's gonna be dirty if it's the 7 of spades, though.
Yeah.
So Viet looking for one of the 3 8s in the deck.
It's not going to happen. 5 of diamonds on the river.
A great run from Viet Vo tonight, coming in on the short stack and laddering the third.
That was fun.
So Breck breaks another Viet Vo out in third place. He'll take home close to $600,000. Let's talk to him.
I was picking at the right spot, and I was catching a lot of cards today, too. So, and the result, I mean, I'm happy.
Hey, man, congrats, man. It's
Yeah, you
a
too.
pleasure playing with you. It's nice to know you and
been great
everything,
no matter
man.
what.
Yeah.
And right now, a game of strategy happening, but everything rolling Bret Schutten's way so far.
Steven continues to limp in. Now, I'm all for limping in heads-up matches as you get down around 20 blinds and you need to see a lot of flops, but as you're more chipped up, you do need to be raising in position pretty often, and Steven continues the passive play on this 4-4-3 flop where he has a gut shot to the nuts, and with 7 high, I think he should be trying to bet and win the pot immediately. Let's see if he does on the turn.
$700.
Steven gonna go with more of a delayed c-bet here and bet 700,000. Breck with ace-7. Senses his hand is still good and makes the call.
Going to the river. Oh, it's a 5. Home run there for Steven Snyder, hitting the straight.
Well, the wheels are turning in Breck's mind, but I'm not sure why. I don't think he wants to turn his hand into a bluff here. Now Steven, again in a spot where he has a big hand and his opponent could have a second best hand, so we see him cutting out a big bet there, and I love it. 5.2 million, really nice big bet from Steven. Breck doesn't have enough to call him here, but I think other times when he has a 4 or a 9, Steven gets paid off nicely.
Steven needed that. Heads up battle will continue. Breck with ace-8 of diamonds.
Steven continues his unfortunate trend of limping. Now, Breck raising it up to 2.2 million. Breck thinks he's way out in front, but as we know, Steven has him pipped with the ace-9.
Steven thinks about it and makes this call. Flop is an ace, queen 3. They both hit aces.
Now, this could lead to a big win for Steven if his kicker is good on the river and he builds this pot. Breck gonna do the work for him with a bet of 1.6 million. And Breck has to think he's way out in front after Steven limped in. So he should be thrilled to get this call. And with the 5 of hearts on the turn, we have 2 flush draws. If I'm in Breck's shoes, I just keep betting. But no, he will check. And if I'm in Steven's shoes, I can't wait to bet.
You have to bet now. You know the man slowed down.
Oh boy, he checks back. So a king on the river and a missed opportunity for Steven to build this pot. Breck has to think his ace-8 is good.
Call.
And he's gonna block, try and get a little bit of value. He gets snap called and is surprised to learn that ace-9 from Steven is the winner here. So not as big as it should have been, but the pot is slid in the direction of Steven.
That could have been a lot bigger.
Glad it wasn't.
Breck pretty happy with the result outside of the fact that he lost.
Yeah, Steven a little cautious there, of course, but rakes in that pot. This time, Breck with a pair of 4s. We'll make it 1.6 to go. Steven with his 7, 3 of clubs will make the call. And the flop will be a king 7-3, 2 pair on the flop for Steven. What a flop for him. He's gonna check it.
Well, not a bad flop for Breck's 4s. Disconnected board. So he'll bet $1 million, hope to just take it down right now or get a call from a 3, but as we know, Steven has 2 pair. And he's gonna check raise. Breck gets out of the way, and Steven, looking cool, calm, and collected, drags in this pot.
This is you. This is you playing poker on WPT Global. Come play at WPT Global. Click the link in the YouTube description below. Sign up with bonus code YT10 and receive your welcome package with a deposit match and free tournament tickets.
Karma may pay off for him tonight. And now, using excellent hand selection to turn this King-8 offsuit into a 3-bet bluff and come over the top of Stevens' open.
And it's gonna work.
But strong play continues from Bret Schutten.
He's got a lot of poise. He has a lot of tricks in his bag. Really in control. This time he's got a 9-6. And he will call it. Just call.
Got to make it interesting, right?
Disappoint me, man.
Got to make it interesting.
Disappoint me.
And Steven's saying, what's going on? No raise here, huh?
But see, now you're already thinking, like, I want to see this one on TV, right?
Brock is having so much fun. It's infectious.
Both of them happy to see the flop. Flop is a king, queen, queen.
Well, now after the limp, Breck will stab at this king, queen, queen flop. And Steven with jack high will continue. A little surprised by that call, but he does have the best hand. 10 of clubs on the turn will give both players a straight draw, but it is Stevens that's superior. Does Breck want to keep firing now? Both players check the turn, and on this 3 of diamond river, they have both missed. So whoever bets wins. Steven checks once more, perhaps believes his jack high is good. Will Breck try and bluff his way out?
Jack.
No, he'll resign this pot over to Steven. A little surprised that Breck didn't bluff at it, but he knows that Steven has leaned passive and might check strong to him more often than some players, so he gives up on that one, and Steven takes it down.
Figured Jack High was calling me on the river, too. I thought, how tilting would that be if I just fired like 6 million on the river, and you're just like, oh, I'm going to make a 6 million Jack High call.
Well, it's kind of refreshing. These guys are very friendly. It's not cutthroat. It's not angry, bitter against each other. I have to win, even though they're playing for big dollars and a big title.
Well, I think they're both very grateful to be here and feeling good about the amount of money that they've locked up already. This is a historic event, and a massive $1.2 million first prize awaits our eventual winner.
Well, Steve, with ace-queen has raised. He's getting the call by queen-6. The flop is an 8-5-4.
Not a bad flop for Breck with the queen-6 and the 6 of diamonds to get creative.
Gonna check it now.
Steven will check behind. I like that check. Leading to the king of clubs on the turn.
Breck will take a stab at it.
I'm less confident that betting the king is coherent to the story that Breck is telling.
And what to do if you're Steven?
Steven, unconvinced. He will make it over 3 million here.
Yep, this is cat and mouse time.
This is a surprising and impressive raise from Steven. Well, Steven certainly has the right image to get away with this.
Breck, what to do? You don't have much, but he's coming back over the top. He says, I read you, you're not that strong. Makes it 10 million total.
My goodness, I did not see this coming, but brilliant play from Breck.
And Steven has to go out.
Wow, what a bluff from Breck there. We'll have more exciting action from our Seminole Hard Rock final table coming up after this.
This is a lot like the first level.
It's a little different for me than the first level.
Bret Schutten against Steven Snyder. Schutten in the lead. About a 2-to-1 advantage for the time being. We are playing 400,000, 800,000 with an 800,000 big blind ante.
Bret Schutten, registered nurse, and he is going to make it 2 million with an ace-queen.
Steven with the quick call, holding 8-5 of clubs. And it's king 7-5, 2 spades and a diamond, so Steven takes the lead with bottom pair.
Gonna go check, check. To the turn, a king.
Well, Steven could stay passive. He could start the betting. Let's see what he does. He will keep it passive. Breck, same position, decides to check back. And with an ace on the river, Breck will lock up this pot. Steven will check one more time. Now a question of bet sizing. It is 3 million. And I think after checking down, Steven should get away from this one. Nope, he's gonna call. And you can see the frustration in his face.
You weren't folding the turn anyway.
What?
You weren't folding anyway.
So good things happening for this man in his first ever WPT tournament.
I mean, the jam looks a little weird, but
What's that?
a jam looks a little weird and makes me think for a while.
Blinds are 5 and $1 million at this point. And Breck now with just an 8-5. And this time he makes it 2.5 with a junk hand. Steven with a quality ace deuce of diamonds just calling. Going to the flop. And here is the flop. It is a 5-5-10, 2 diamonds, 3 of a kind for Breck, 4 flush for Steven. Check by Steven.
Yeah, potentially an action flop here. I actually think Steven should play his hand passively.
Breck has bet 2 million.
I know it's tempting to raise sometimes in these spots, but I actually think with the ace-high flush draw, your hand could be good without making the flush. You essentially have a bluff catcher and a flush draw. I think that Steven should call. Easy for me to say, staring at Breck's trips right in the face. But unfortunately, Steven is going to check raise to 4.8 million and get himself in hot water. Well, how does Breck want to play this? 3-bet or call? Just a call.
Going to the turn. Will a diamond appear? No diamond, 7 of hearts. Now Steven's in that predicament. Nothing materialized. You know, your man called you with the raise on the flop.
Well, Steven, reaching for chips, gonna follow through after the check raise and bet 5.2 million. And this is the dilemma with playing an ace-high flush draw fast. You can't get worse hands to call, and you can't get better hands to fold on a board like 10-5-5-7. The decision for Breck, does he want to call or move all in and charge Steven the maximum to realize the equity on his draw?
Clock is ticking down. Will he take more time or will just...
All in.
Announces all in, so back to Steven. Does he want to call off his tournament with the ace-high flush draw?
Steven's hating himself.
Well, it didn't have to go down like this, Vince. Now Steven in a bind, telling himself maybe Breck could have a worse flush draw. Maybe I've put in too much money to fold.
Clock is ticking down. He could take more time. It's what he's going to do.
And every now and then he'll catch Breck with a worse draw, but not a lot of those to go around.
So the clock's ticking down. He's got a big dilemma. He makes the crying call and hopes to catch.
Well, this pot got a lot bigger than it had to be for Steven, so he now finds himself all in, at risk, and behind.
Drop a deuce on the river.
I can't, man. I'm gonna fold and leave myself 16 million. I was hoping you had 8-9, something like that.
Breck needs to fade a diamond on the river, except for the 8 of diamonds that would give him a full house.
It's gonna happen. Deuce of clubs on the river.
Nice playing with you.
Bret Schutten has done it.
And Bret Schutten, your newest Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown champion.
But our runner-up, Steven Snyder, great player, came in second place, will take home $900,000. Let's see what he has to say.
I mean, you can't complain. I mean, the biggest WPT field in history, and you get second place. I mean, you know, take it all day long. Yeah. You know, the old cliche, it's always bittersweet not to win it when you get this close. But, you know, whatever. I mean, 900,000, I'll take it. For sure.
Well, you gotta hand it to Bret, our winner of the WPT Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. He gets first place cash, and Vince, it is a ton, $1.26 million.
That is some big bucks. Now, don't forget, he will also get the Hublot watch and a set of Baccarat crystal glasses. And since everything does taste better in Baccarat, let's raise a glass to the new WPT champion, Bret Schutten.